It happened so suddenly that fans almost didn't believe it was real. During a quiet evening interview, meant to promote his latest charity project, Heughan decided to drop the mask he'd worn for nearly a decade. The host asked an innocent question about Outlander, about the bond that had carried the show through 8 unforgettable seasons. Sam paused, smiled faintly, and then said words no one expected to hear. "There's something I've never said before, about Caitríona." The studio went silent. Even the interviewer froze for a moment, sensing this wasn't another rehearsed press line. Sam leaned back, his eyes reflecting a mixture of nostalgia and vulnerability. "I've spent almost 10 years working with her," he continued softly. "We've been through everything together. Long nights, freezing weather, laughter, exhaustion, success, and I think people still don't understand what she truly means to me." Those words, calm, simple, honest, hit harder than any tabloid headline ever could. For years, Heughan and Caitríona Balfe had been the heartbeat of Outlander. As Jamie and Claire Fraser, they didn't just play lovers, they became them. Their chemistry was so natural, so effortless, that millions of fans across the world refused to separate fiction from reality. They believed what they saw, that behind every glance, every touch, there was a love story unfolding off-screen too. And yet, both Sam and Caitríona had always avoided answering the question directly. Were they more than friends? Did they ever fall for each other in real life? Every interview, every red carpet appearance, came with that same tension, teasing smiles, careful words, and mutual glances that only made fans believe even more. But on this night, something in Sam's voice sounded final, like he was done hiding behind politeness and PR rehearsals. "I think the hardest part of my career," he said quietly, "has been keeping parts of myself private while living inside a love story that belongs to millions of people. It's strange, they see me and Caitríona as Jamie and Claire, but we've always been us." The interviewer leaned forward. "So what is the truth between you two?" Sam exhaled slowly, looking down for a moment before meeting the camera with an almost heartbreaking honesty. "The truth," he said, "is that she changed me. She's been my partner through everything, not just on screen, but in life. We've shared things that only the two of us will ever understand. I guess that's my secret. That connection, it's real, but not in the way people think." The room fell silent again. The words lingered in the air, soft, unguarded, and deeply human. For years, fans had speculated about hidden relationships, secret confessions, and denied romances. But what Sam said in that moment felt different. It wasn't gossip. It was gratitude. It was confession without scandal, love without possession. He smiled faintly, as if remembering something private. "You know, we filmed some of the toughest scenes of our lives together, physically and emotionally. And through all of that, Caitríona was constant. She held the story together. She held me together." He stopped for a moment, his voice growing softer. "There were days when I didn't think I could do it, the pressure, the expectations, the spotlight. But she was there, always. That's something I've never said before." The host looked at him, visibly moved. "So she's your closest friend?" Sam laughed lightly, but there was a sadness beneath it. "More than that," he replied. "She's part of me. I don't know how else to describe it." Almost immediately, the clip went viral. Fans flooded social media with shock and emotion. "He finally said it," one fan tweeted. "He's been holding this for years." Others speculated wildly. Had Sam just admitted he loved Caitríona all along? Was this the unseen truth the fandom had been waiting for? Entertainment outlets replayed the moment endlessly, dissecting every pause, every flicker in his expression. But while the internet was busy creating headlines, those who truly understood Sam saw something deeper. A man finally freeing himself from years of silence. As one fan commented, "It's not about romance. It's about a bond that changed both their lives forever." By the end of the interview, Sam looked almost relieved, as though he had unburdened himself from a weight carried too long. He smiled gently and said, "People always ask if what we had on screen was real. I suppose the answer is yes. Just not the way they think. Then, with a quiet chuckle, he added the line that would echo across social media for weeks. She changed me in ways I can't explain, and maybe that was my secret all along. And with that, the interview ended. But the world was only beginning to talk. The interview clip spread like wildfire across the internet. Within hours, social media was flooded with posts, reactions, and endless speculation. Fans were divided. Some convinced that Heughan had finally confessed his love for Caitríona Balfe, while others argued that his words spoke of something far deeper than romance. Hashtags like #Sam and Kate Truth and #UnseenBond began trending worldwide. People shared GIFs, photos, and old interviews, revisiting every moment between the two stars with new meaning. That one line, "She changed me in ways I can't explain," became a cultural earthquake, shaking the foundation of everything fans thought they knew about their relationship. For nearly a decade, Sam and Caitríona had built one of the most compelling partnerships in television history. Their portrayal of Jamie and Claire Fraser was legendary, a love so intense it blurred the line between performance and reality. Every glance, every breath they shared on screen seemed charged with something unscripted. But now, for the first time, Sam had acknowledged it. There was a real connection. Not the romantic fantasy people imagined, but a bond that transcended labels, one born of trust, respect, and something unspoken that only two people who've lived a story together could understand. As media outlets raced to interpret his confession, Caitríona Balfe finally broke her silence. She posted a short message on Instagram, alongside a black and white photo of her and Sam laughing between takes. The caption read simply, "He's my person, always has been." Those 4 words sent fans into a frenzy. The comments section exploded. "She said it, she finally said it. They're soulmates, you can't convince me otherwise." Not romantic, but something even stronger. In interviews that followed, Caitríona clarified her words with her signature grace. "People have always wanted to define what we are," she said. "But some connections aren't meant to be defined. Sam has been part of my life for so long. He's seen me at my best and my worst. That kind of friendship doesn't fade. It evolves." Her statement only deepened the admiration fans had for both of them. It wasn't just about love anymore, it was about loyalty. It was about the kind of friendship that exists beyond fame, beyond the cameras, and beyond the scripts they'd memorized for years. Entertainment magazines began describing their relationship as one of the rarest and most beautiful bonds in Hollywood. Others called it the modern definition of platonic love. But to the people who had followed Outlander since the very beginning, it was simpler than that. Sam and Caitríona were family, chosen not by blood, but by fate. Behind the scenes, crew members and co-stars confirmed what fans had long suspected. Sam and Caitríona's connection was genuine. They supported each other through grueling filming schedules, personal challenges, and public scrutiny. They knew each other's rhythms, could read each other's moods with a single look. One insider recalled, "There were moments when you'd see them in between takes, no words, just a small glance or smile, and you'd know they understood each other completely." It wasn't romantic, it was spiritual. Even during the hardest seasons, when rumors swirled about feuds or secret relationships, they always stood by each other. Caitríona once defended Sam against online harassment, calling him one of the kindest souls she'd ever met. Sam, in turn, constantly praised her as the heart of the show. After the interview, Sam released a short statement on his social platforms to quiet the storm. "I wasn't confessing a secret romance," he wrote. "I was acknowledging something beautiful, the kind of friendship that changes who you are. Caitríona is one of the most important people in my life. That's the truth." His words resonated far beyond Hollywood. Fans from around the world began sharing their own stories of friendship, posting about people who had changed their lives in unseen ways. The message had evolved into something universal, a reminder that love doesn't have to fit one definition. Weeks later, both Sam and Caitríona attended a fan convention in London. When they walked on stage together, The crowd erupted into applause and tears. They hugged tightly, not as actors performing, but as two people who had lived through something extraordinary. Looking out at the cheering audience, Sam smiled and said, "We've shared this journey with you for almost 10 years. And the truth is, we wouldn't have made it without each other." Caitríona nodded, her voice soft but steady. "What we have isn't something that ends when the cameras stop. It's real, always will be." In that moment, the room fell silent. It wasn't about ships, rumors, or hidden relationships anymore. It was about two souls acknowledging the rare kind of bond that only time, trust, and mutual respect can create. As the event ended, fans left with tears in their eyes, repeating the words that now defined Sam and Caitríona's story. Love doesn't always need to be romantic to be real.